What's up, guys? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. Back at y'all with another video this morning. Want to holler at some of y'all for a second, man. By the way, it's 8:18 a.m. Wednesday morning, January the 8th, 2025, year of our Lord. Want to holler at y'all for a second, particularly some of you new guys that are getting into business this year. I want to give you some advice about pricing, loans, and jobs in your area. Each area is different, man. You really need to learn your area and learn what a good hourly rate should be. You know, there's a lot of different things that's gonna factor into your hourly rate. Your gas prices, your gas consumption, your oil, equipment, whether you're paying payments on equipment or whether you have paid cash or whether you have zero debt. There's so many things. Your household bills, all that good stuff. You need to figure out what you need to make per hour in order to be profitable and have optimum profit margins. That's the start of it, okay? You need to figure that out, and you need to figure that out quick. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you don't go out there and do any work until you figure everything out, because if you do that, you're never gonna get any work done. Okay? I've been doing this for 4 years myself, and I'm still figuring things out when it comes to learning the business aspect of everything. But after you figure that out, you know, this part will probably take you 3, maybe 4 months to figure out how long it will take you to do certain properties. In some cases, it may take you longer. If you're in an area like me, and you have a lot of HOA subdivisions with a ton of cookie cutter lawns, but on the outskirts of your little town, you have bigger properties that are anywhere from an acre to however many acres. We've got some out here that are 300 and 400 acres, but I don't fool with none of those, of course. But the reason I'm saying that is because it is very easy to lose money. It is very easy to underquote jobs. You're going to lose money, okay? That's just a part of it. You're going to underquote things, and you're going to realize that you made a mistake once you submitted a quote, and it's not going to take you long at all to realize that you have sold yourself short. But my recommendation to you is, as soon as you figure that out, as soon as you realize you should be making more money for doing something than what you are, you need to let that customer know as soon as possible. I know I was guilty of going an entire season without changing prices, and that can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. You know, a lot of people look at it as, man, this man made a mistake, but he's honoring his prices. I get that, but there are some things that are more important than what the customer thinks of you. You have to protect your business, okay? You have to make money. You have to make a profit. If you're not making a profit, you don't have a business. Simple as that. You're doing charity work. So as soon as you figure out what you should be making on stuff, start pricing everything you do correctly. Just say your man-hour rate is, like, we'll just use mine for instance. My rate for my business is $70 per man-hour. So if it's just me by myself, I'm making $70 an hour. The business is making $70 an hour. If it's 2 of us, the business is making $140 an hour. Simple as that. Now, that does not necessarily mean just because there's 2 of us and we're making $140 an hour, that does not mean that we're generating more revenue in our business. Now, of course, I will be generating more revenue because I will have more work lined up to validate having a 2-man crew. But that doesn't mean that you're making more money in your business just because you have a $140 an hour rate versus a $70 an hour rate. Now, you walk up to a property and you walk around it, and just say it's a 2-acre property, okay? I've got some of those properties, and you walk around that property. Just because it's 2-acre property, you know, you're new, you're not really taking into consideration all the obstacles. They may have a bunch of pine trees or oak trees. They may have a bunch of stumps. They may have a bunch of potholes. And they may even have a bunch of flower beds or mulch beds or whatever it may be. you're not taking into consideration all the obstacles. So you're thinking it'll probably take you, I don't know, 2-acre property. You're probably thinking it'll take you about an hour to do with 2 people, okay? So you're charging that customer $140. You're losing money doing that. If that happens, after you do that property 2 or 3 times, and you realize that it's taking you an hour and a half to do, you need to bump your price up. Let your customer know. Just reach out to them, say, hey, we made a mistake on the quote. We're losing money. We are left with no choice but to move your price up to $210 per service. One of 2 things is going to happen. They're either going to say, hey, I understand that, and I think it's a very smart move. Believe it or not, that happens, okay? People get it. They know that nothing is free. They know that things are expensive. They know that the economy is in shambles right now and everything is out of whack. And they know that you're not going to come out here and cut their grass for an hour and a half for free. They know that. But on the other hand, you've got some customers that are going to ask you, man, are you out of your mind? You were charging me $140 and now all of a sudden you're going up to $210. It's not my fault that you can't figure out how long it's going to take you. That happens as well. You have that happen occasionally. Normally when that does happen, it's usually an elderly woman that you're dealing with when that happens. At least that's been the case for me. I've never had a man or a younger woman that is out working tell me nothing like that, but I have had elderly women look at me like I was crazy when I give them a price. It is what it is, man. You know, you're not going to win them all, and that's business. You've got to look out for your business. It's best to not take the customer on than to take the customer on and lose money, because if you're doing stuff like that, you're not making money, you're losing money. So you're not going to stay in business long if you're doing that. Also, when you're quoting properties, once you figure out how long everything should take, and you know, I've just about got it figured out in my business. I still make mistakes every now and then, we all do, but I fix it later. But once you do figure out how long it takes you to do something, drop the price on them, man. Don't get me wrong, there are times and instances where, and I've even got on here before and said something about it. There are times where you walk around the property and you're like, man, this is a small property, but it's going to take us a lot of damn time to do it, man. They got a bunch of bushes. They got some obstacles to deal with. It is what it is, man. I gave a customer a quote one time for $600 a month for bi-weekly service on a 1-acre property. Yes, I've done that. Now, the customer took me on, and they took me on. Matter of fact, this was I want to say this was back in November when this happened. I was scared to death to drop this man a price, but this guy, when he Googled my business, he realized I had a website. He saw pictures on my page. He looked at my Facebook page, saw different pictures, and he saw everything. He said, man, this guy's serious about his business. He's a professional. That is what he told me when we did the walk around before I even gave him the price. What had happened, he had been dealing with fly-by-night lawn care guys, people that are just out there trying to make beer money, gas money, dope money, whatever it may be. His words, not mine. And they were doing cheap. They gave him a bottom dollar price, but it showed in the quality of work that they did. Now, this customer, he is actually going to start business. He's actually going to start the contract in March because he's having some work done on his property. He's having some tree work done on his property from the hurricane, and he's having a lot of trees removed from his property. And but he's good with the price. We went around and we're going to start. We've already signed the contract. We're going to start work in March, and it's going to go from March to March. So don't be scared. What I'm getting at is, if you know something's going to take you a certain amount of time, don't be scared to drop the price. And the reason I'm telling you this is because, for one, you got to look out for your business. Like I just told you before, you got to look out for your business, man. You got to make a profit. If something's going to take you and your helper 2-3 hours, you've got to make a profit, man. You've got to pay your help for that amount of time that he's working. You've got to cover the fuel consumption for that amount of time that you're working, and all the rest of it that comes with it. And you've also got to pay yourself at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, end of the month, whatever, however you pay yourself. And you got to take into consideration wear and tear on your equipment. But don't be scared to drop that price. But that's the first reason. The second reason is, when you give somebody a low ball price, you have put it in the mind of that person that they can get a lot of work done for not a lot of money. And what that does, it 100% trashes your market. In my area, all of the cookie cutter loans, like the little quarter acre and less loans, half acre and less, I guess I should say, the price is set, and it is a fair price. It is. We make good money on loans that are half acre and less. But loans that are an acre and up, man, I don't have a whole lot of those properties, just because of the simple fact that the people are not willing to pay what I am charging. And it's not just me that's like that. I am probably upper middle part of the pricing in my area. I'm not the most expensive, and I'm not the least expensive. But these customers are getting what they pay for, and they know that. That's why they're not afraid to pay the money. But like I said, man, those in my area, it's hard to pick up properties that big, because most of the time you're not going to make enough money to justify going out there and doing it all the time. And it's definitely like that with the commercial properties in my area, unless it is a small commercial property. Most of the commercial properties in my area, if you're not getting these properties done within 2 hours with a 3 or 4 man crew, you're not going to make any money. These people are not wanting to pay any more than about $220 per month. That's just the way it is in my area. So right now, I don't have any commercial properties, and I'm not taking any on until I have the manpower to do it. Unless it's a small property and these people get it, But just want to throw that out there, guys. All you new guys going into business this spring, man, learn your numbers, know them, and once you do figure out your numbers and figure out how long it's going to take you to do something and what your man-hour rate should be, charge accordingly, man. Don't go out there and be losing a whole buttload of money, because you will go out of business. I promise. That is the quickest way to go out of business. But anyways, guys, I hope this helps you some. If it did, leave a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. If not, that's fine too, man. Just let me know down in the comments how stupid I really am. But look, man, I'm on the way to the first property. I'm gonna hop off here. I'm getting pretty close. And I'll cut y'all back on the next one, man. But until then, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. Holler at y'all. Bye.